Welcome to the Retired Athlete Mentality Podcast, the podcast where we dive deep into the stories of former collegiate athletes who have transitioned from the competitive world of college sports to the grueling but rewarding world of endurance racing. Each episode, we bring on athletes who have gone from courts, fields, and tracks to marathons, triathlons, and even ultras. School's back in session. Welcome to the show. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Retired Athlete Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Jamal from Running State University, and on this episode, we have Cheyanne Stewart from Mesa Community College and North Carolina A&T State University, where she played golf. While at Mesa, she was part of a team that won 83 tournaments in a row, and while at North Carolina A&T, she won the National Women's College Golf Championship. After graduating, she continued to golf at the amateur level, placing second in the championship flight net division at the Arizona Women's Amateur event. While continuing to golf, Cheyanne takes on ultra races as well. She placed third overall in the 36K and second in her age group in a 50K race. Cheyanne, let's talk about your retired athlete mentality. How have you been?
I'm doing great. Life is awesome. It's been a blessing, and thank you so much for having me on this podcast. And it's great to connect with you as well.
Yeah, I definitely am jealous of the view back there. You've got the golf course behind you, and it looks like it's great weather.
It is. It's gorgeous right now. It's kind of getting into the triple digits as we
Oh boy.
get into July, but we've been very fortunate so far this year. It's been in mid 80s, 90s, and for the month of April. So yeah, we're chilling.
That's awesome. It sounds like good golf weather.
It is. It's perfect.
All right, so let's go back in time. So when did golf start for you?
So golf started my sophomore year of high school so I graduated back in 2016. So I would say 3 years before that, that was 2013 at Dobson High School. My family and I moved out to Arizona from California, and that's when I just started playing the game. Just wanted to try something new to make friends. Never played the sport ever, never picked up a club before that. Like I started playing at Dobson Ranch Golf Course and just got the bug on the range. So, yeah, that's how I started. And my dad started playing a year before me, so that he planted that seed, brought it home, and he would always be gone on the weekends playing like amateur tournaments type deal. So, yeah.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played like a season of soccer, a season of basketball, and I loved those sports just because it helped me move, kept me busy, but I don't know, for me, I didn't see the process. It didn't really give me like that passion or the motivation or like taught me like ambition the way that golf did. Golf just clicked for me personally, and I know other sports can teach those same values, but I think golf, it was more of like an individual sport. I was able to be outside, still move, was able to just learn a lot more of who I am, who I want to become, and helped me to get out of my own shell, to connect with different walks of life and be able to travel because of the sport, and created a lot of opportunities that I never knew or dreamt would be a possibility as well. Yeah.
So did you take lessons, or was it mostly just coaching from high school that got you to where you were, when you were getting ready to go to college?
Yeah, that's a great question. I remember my dad buying like a pack of lessons from a golf instructor at Dobson. I can't remember his name currently, but I do remember his face. And then from there, that's when I started playing for Dobson High School for all 3 years. And I remember my junior year, the summer going into my senior year, actually, I was at Dobson on the range at the hottest time of the day. I must have been on the range for like hours. This is how the story goes. But John Guerrero, who is the head coach for Mesa Community College, he was playing at Dobson at the same time. he finished the 9 holes, he saw me on the range, and then when he completed the back nine, he still saw me on the range hitting, and he went into the pro shop, he asked the guys for my name, and then he let them know to share his phone number with me when I came in. So that's how I got his information. I gave my phone number to my dad, of course, because I don't know the guy, you know.
Yeah.
So my dad told me we were gonna meet up with him at Dobson to like formally introduce ourselves and just see what he has to share. And essentially, he wanted to be my coach going into my senior year of high school because he loved just like my work ethic, my ambition, just my perseverance too. And he knew that's hard to teach, kind of like an underdog type deal. So that's how we connected. And once I graduated high school, I signed for him as well, which was a blessing in disguise. Just helped me because I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school in terms of work. I just never thought about that. Just was a good student in school, had a good work ethic and everything, but just I guess golf just helped me to just continue plugging away, still figure out what I wanted in life and who I was, my in terms of weaknesses and strengths and all of that too. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of leads on to the next part of the story, which is, getting to college. And it sounds like, you were at the right place at the right time.
Mhm.
And, it helped you get to Mesa. And so when you got to Mesa, was the team winning that many tournaments before you got there?
Yeah, so Coach John Guerrero is known throughout the valley for his coaching, his leadership, how he's able to recruit players, even players like me, and be able to turn them into national champions as well. And yeah, the his previous teams have won every tournament essentially. So I was going into that team with high expectations already off the jump, having to contribute low scores in order to continue that tradition pretty much too. So I put a lot of like, look, I'm very grateful him as a coach. He didn't see us as numbers. He saw us as players and
Mm.
as family, most importantly. So it made the process so much easier and more enjoyable too. So that's what I think that's key to any leader, just going beyond the sport itself too. So that just helped me to like get out of my mind. I was already a head case with like the pressure, with comparing myself to other
Yeah,
girls that have been playing this sport ever since they were little. And I'm a
yeah.
perfectionist, that work ethic, wanting to see immediate results, but him being a coach that is like laid back, fun, knows when to work hard, but knows how to like relax, helped to really grow within the 2 years that I was with him. Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounded like you got there and it wasn't, easy at first.
Mhm.
You kind of had to ease your way into the team, but
Yeah.
it sounded like good coaching
Mhm.
helped you find a place on the team that was comfortable for you.
Yes. Yeah. Super thankful. And then the girls that I played with, they were great, great role models of like, okay, this is what's possible. Get to chat, learn a lot from them since they had a huge tournament resume, especially.
Mm.
So yeah, it was just great overall.
Yeah, and it led you to North Carolina A&T, right?
Yeah, it did. Honestly, I only had one school reach out to me, and it was local too. But it wasn't a full ride or anything. I didn't commit to that
Mm.
school either. So I honestly had no plan continuing to play golf my junior and senior year of college. My parents always brought up like joining the army, but I felt like deep down, like something was gonna come up. And that's probably me being delusional, right? I was young,
Yeah.
delusional, that type of deal. But again, thank God for my college coach. He was able to pull some strings for me. And literally, like 2 weeks before North Carolina A&T started the school year, they reached out to me and they're like, "We're giving you a full ride. Here's the lowdown. You
Wow.
either take it or you don't." And I was like, "I'm taking it." I'm taking it for golf. Like I didn't really like again, I didn't really have a plan for like career wise after school, but I just love the game. That was like the only thing that just like kept me like really focused, grounded, and it's like it doesn't sound smart at all, but that's just kind of like that was my mindset at that time at that age. When I talk to other student athletes that the younger generation, like they have a plan. Like I want to be this while playing college golf, and it's like, wow, I didn't really
Hmm.
have exposure. I don't know, like I don't know if it was just like exposure or like being asked or having opportunities to like to try out different careers. But again, I'm very thankful for golf because that kept me, I guess, developing myself as a person, as a human, which led me to these great opportunities that are super priceless as well. So yeah, that's how that came about. And I remember like I wasn't one of those college athletes that were able to like visit the school too. It was just like
Yeah.
all phone call, sign, pack your stuff. You're you're going out
Yeah.
there and school starts literally next week type deal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, insane. But and I love
That's
the experience.
that's pretty wild.
It is wild. Yeah.
Were you nervous at all, or were you just super ecstatic to be going there?
I was nervous because it's a Division 1 school, and I know it was like the second year the program was running too. So again,
Uh,
that put a lot of pressure of like, hey, we're setting the foundation type deal. It's a new women's golf program. We want to continue at an HBCU too, mind you. And I'm getting a full ride. They're they're betting on me pretty much. They could have
hmm.
chosen so many other young ladies, but that didn't happen. So I'm super glad I had that opportunity came around. It was a lot to juggle, right? I'm across the country and
Yeah.
by myself, never been on the East Coast, different type of golf because it's thick, the humidity, the story goes on and
Hmm.
on. It's a different routine. I'm on my own by myself. It's kind of like adulting, but you still have that safety net, of course, but
Yeah.
it was a lot to juggle at first to get used to. But again, there's a team around you that you can relate to. And some of those teammates, they had families there as well, so they kept their doors open. And the college coaches were great as well on top of that. So
Yeah. And so you mentioned that you won a championship while you were there. What was that?
yeah, that was hosted by Women in Golf, huge, important organization when it comes to the HBCU side because
Oh.
it was hosted by Renee Powell and the founder of Women in Golf. I'm blanking on her name, but Renee Powell, her family is very important in the sport because her father started up or owned the first golf course by Black person, essentially. And
Yeah.
that opened up a lot of doors for minorities, right, in the game. And it was really awesome to meet them both in person, and they continue to provide so much for the next generation, right? So I always have that in the back of my mind too. Again, like receiving these opportunities end over end wouldn't like again if golf wasn't in my life because of them, I don't think I would be here to be like I'm dead serious. Like I don't know, maybe I'm in the army,
Mm.
or worse too. No, literally, like life is crazy. It's like if that opportunity isn't there, like it just sets you on a different path, right? But
Hmm.
luckily, like golf has been there as a safety net to give me time to evolve, find myself, find my voice, and then be able to like express myself, be able to give back in an intentional way, but it just takes time to bake everything, right? It just took me a little bit longer, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But going back to that, your question, that tournament, I felt like that was when everything clicked for us as a team. We felt confident, everything was going, we felt like we were all good students. It just in terms of like we had our routine nailed down, and that really showed and carried onto the golf course itself as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that sounds like you kind of rounded up your college experience on a high note, and
Yes.
then you graduated, and then I believe it sounds like you still tried to compete at an amateur level. Did you, after graduating, still try to compete in golf?
So after golf, I didn't have that on my mind, honestly, because my last tournament, we were in Florida, and this is when COVID broke out, actually. I remember
Mm,
we were teeing off on hole number 10, and we were about to like walk out to our tee shots, and all the coaches came out in golf carts. Like, I mean, like all six coaches from different schools. And that's
yeah,
like, you don't see that. And you're like, I'm like, something's up. That's not normal, and they
yeah.
literally were like, "The tournament's done. We have to go back. COVID is happening." And I'm like, "Wait." And
Wow.
it's literally my last tournament of my senior year. That's it's crazy to say, but yeah, so I packed up everything and from my dorm room and just left North Carolina. So that's when,
Yeah,
sorry.
that sounds. No, you're okay. It sounds like it was a tough experience. COVID
Yeah,
shocked the world,
it did. Yeah.
and you know, you
It was like,
graduated right when it was happening.
yeah, like we didn't even get a graduation or anything. Like I
Yeah.
got my degree in the mail, but it wasn't like you got your gown, the hat, you got to walk. Um, so it was like I immediately texted Dobson Ranch, my home course, and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a job." Literally next day I started working.
Yeah.
And then I started working
Yeah.
at Costco, the 9 to 5. So after college, I never really had a break. I
Mhm.
used work as a way to get busy. But then I had that period of where like this is getting mundane. And I was like, I missed the golf course. So I started volunteering as a golf coach at Dobson. And then that's when I was like, okay, I feel something again. Like that passion is coming back. I knew that I didn't want to play professional golf. I
Yeah.
didn't have that competitive edge, especially like the mental side of the game, um, or the finances too. I was just really realistic with myself. But I found a love for coaching at that time and being a part of the community, being outside, felt like myself again. And then that's when I was like, you know what? Like, I want to try this tournament. I think it was like
Mm.
2 or 3 years later, after I graduated, and I knew what I knew I didn't want. I wanted to make sure like the mental side of the game was in check for me. Like just making sure I had the confidence and just had a high acceptance level too of
Mm.
the results, and knew I just had to focus on the process, just practicing day in and day out, and just, yeah, being intentional with the practice, quality practice. It just came down to short game. But yeah, it was awesome to play in that 3-day event. I was able to be back in that competitive environment, but like a new identity in a sense. It was a good breakthrough from old college habits, and yeah, it was really fun. I think it was just like a personal growth for me.
Yeah, that sounds awesome that you were able to get back into it and really get the love of the game back. And when, you started golfing,
Mhm.
when did running come into the picture?
Running came into the picture back in, I would say, the end of 2024, early 2025. 2025 for sure, I ran a lot, but
Yeah.
I think 2024 was when like the academy kind of started. I was working a lot, coaching a lot of hours day in and day out. I was practicing, and then I think I just got burnt out with golf. And because
Mm,
golf coaching became a business, and that really altered, it was I was trying to navigate those feelings, trying to find balance between the business side, the passion side, and still being true to my why and my mission. Because social media has blown up in the golf industry, and
mm,
that plays a huge role too. And not just social media, but well, social media plays a part in the culture of golf, and it's helped bring a lot more people into the game, which has been a huge blessing. Again, more opportunities for everybody. So it was a lot to kind of juggle for me personally, a lot of growth there. So I kind of reverted back to running. Running's always played a part in these different stages of my life, from high school,
mm.
college, and just fell in love with trail running. Didn't even try road running. I didn't. I just loved being outside,
Yeah,
just like seeing
yeah.
the scenery just reminded me of like the golf course, essentially, that vibe. Just really hearing myself like it's my more of like a meditative state, right? Breathing, letting my thoughts just kind of come in and out without any like judgment at all, and just having like that clarity for that rest of the day. So I think in 2025 I ran over 1,000 miles, something like that.
Wow.
But that's what
Yeah.
Strava said too. And I think I might have played in one golf tournament, but I
Wow.
that might have been back in 2024, if I remember correctly. So it was just a lot of hours on end each week, just running trails. And I loved it. I feel like nature was able to teach me a lot of like lessons that I could take back with me on the day to day, you know? So that just helped me evolve as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like when you picked up running, you kind of put golf on a hold. And
Yeah.
so, with golf on a hold, what did it look like while you were training? Did you have a few races that you were signed up for that you were building to, or did you just go out there and try to?
Honestly, I love that question because I had races signed up, and it gave me went it helped me to channel the process again, and that's what I love. I loved going through the process, and but
Yeah.
towards the end of the year of 2025, I got too focused on the numbers. I got too focused, like
Mm,
I wasn't listening to my body anymore. I wasn't really like in tune with it. So that's when everything started to like cross a little bit, intertwine, get a little confused. But at the time, like during the process, it reminded me of golf, preparing. Like even before stepping foot on the trail or the golf course, it's like the sleep, the nutrition, what are your intentions going into workout or practice, right? So I was able
yeah.
to remember those feelings back in college and then bring it back to where I'm at today, and then just really loving the process all over again with golf. Yeah.
Yeah, both golf and running have significant mental aspects of them. Did you find one or the other, more difficult, or did you feel that they were pretty similar when it came to mentality?
Yeah, that's a good question because I was thinking about this. I actually played in a tournament, golf tournament 2 weekends ago. It was like a 2-day
Yeah.
stroke play, and I was playing pretty good. First day through the front nine, I think I was just like one over, and I was like, dang, I got another nine, and then 36 tomorrow. That thought literally crossed my mind. I was like, wow, like I forgot, like, how much endurance this takes, you know? And kid you not, we're driving in cars. It's like I'm not even, like it's not like we're carrying our bag and walking. Like,
Yeah.
we're just driving around, and I have this thought mentally, and when I go and then I think the other day I ran 2 miles, right? And it's like it's still a mental thought, like, "Dang, I got another mile, like, I have to run back home." You know, it's like out and back. It's
Yeah.
not a loop, you know?
Yeah.
So, to me, I think it's both. I don't it's
Yeah.
crazy to say. They're both equally, and it comes down to the person, comes down to perspective. And I think that's when, like, the mind is so much more important than the body. You know, all these experiences that we have, no matter like what sport, or it doesn't even have to be a sport, you know, even business, that's endurance there too. You're
Yeah.
playing the long game. But it's it's training your mind to handle these experiences so that way you're able to handle harder things too, you know? And it's always going back to like just being present. You know, I think we think about like the result, we jump to the result or
Yeah.
are being impatient simply instead of just listening to the breath or feeling our feet on the ground. For me personally, that's what helps me to get away from like, dang, this is long. This is a long 32-mile race, or this is a long 2-day
Yeah.
race type deal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely, I play golf a little bit, but I am nowhere near, even or one over or one under. But I know that it is mentally, it takes a lot because in one hole, there could be 4 or 5 different shots that you have to think about differently,
Mhm.
um, to make it work. And similar to running, it might not be, in an individual run. You might have 4 or 5 different runs in a week
Mm.
that you have to think about a little bit differently, but you
Yeah.
still have to put it all together for a good week or a good whole.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I think, translates well to being able to mentally handle both of those.
Yeah. I agree. And I feel like a lot of people that say like that's when runners say like miles are miles at the end of the day. You know, like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter what time or how much time it took you to finish. I feel the same thing about golf, you know? We have like the
Yeah.
standard 9 or 18. And
Mhm.
even for beginner golfers, like I wish there was like a 3-hole course or a 6-hole course, you know? Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's like we're going through the same feelings, I guess, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you accomplished it. Like after that golf tournament, I was like, I did
Yeah.
it, you know? And it is what it is. And of course, like I'm competitive and I'm like, okay, for this next tournament, this is what I need to work on, you know, to be
Yeah.
better. So yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say, your biggest surprise has been, in your running journey?
My biggest surprise is honestly is being able to run that those ultras because like sometimes when I'm running like maybe 8 miles, I'm thinking like, how did I do that? You know? Um, but it's like,
Yeah.
why do I question it? Like I never like it's simply just putting in the process, you know? And I think that's what helps to break up those goals too, because that big goal can be so overwhelming. Like even completing them and like thinking about another 32-mile race, it's like, dang, wow, that's insane. But it's like, okay, I did it once, I can do it again, you know? And yeah, that's what trail running has taught me. And then also like being able to like having those hard workout weeks at peak of the training
Yeah.
and still being diligent in the other areas of my life, the day-to-day stuff too. Again, that's just like the mental side of things, just being persistent, persevering, and just sticking to that routine. as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few years of marathon under my belt, but I never have dabbled in the ultra, and
Mm,
I get exactly what you're saying, which is like you haven't done it before, so you have all of this doubt. But if you
mhm.
just think about it like it's just another race, then it's not as big of a monster as you may
Yeah.
think it is. Um, but it's the experience that you gain from doing it once and then learning from that helps you tackle those races that go even further.
Yeah. Yeah, that's helped me a lot when it comes to like business, when there's these big goals and just like breaking it down, doing what's most important, and then being consistent on those priorities too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, outside of running, you are a coach
Mhm.
and you're coaching at your hometown course, which is Dobson Ranch Golf Course, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how your coaching has been going?
Uh, my coaching has been super rewarding, I would say, because like thinking back now, like when I first started giving lessons to now, it's just seen not the golfer score being lowered, but their confidence increase too, seeing that light turn on when they have that good shot or see like, hey, they they can make those types of shots, right? Or create those types of shots. What else? My philosophy of the game has changed too. Still keeping things very simple and really focusing, putting the golfer at the center. It always has been, but always refining that, like respecting their body movement, their body patterns, and working with that too. So yeah.
Yeah, and would you say that, when coaching is at its high, running takes a little bit of a dip, or are you balancing all of those things, golf, running, family, friends? What does that look like for you?
Currently, right now, running is at the bottom of the list. I
Yeah.
still run about, I would say, 5 to 10 miles a week. I love it. Again, it just helps me to get that movement and then also just be outside, meditative process, and it's just super fun. Plus, I have friends that run, so I always make sure I carve out that time with them, most importantly. And then I learned from last year when busy season is happening on the golf course, I do have to taper off with running, most importantly. I tried to maintain a high volume with running and coaching, and I ended up getting injured really bad. So,
Yeah.
lesson learned on that,
Yeah.
called balance. New
Yeah,
word for
exactly.
2026,
Yeah.
balance, recover.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Yep, I have the word recovery on my wall as well, so I'm right there with you.
uh, sweet.
I wanted to ask because I know we were working on getting together a little bit like a week ago, but I wanted to ask how your women's golf day event went.
Oh, the women's golf day event was super fun. So, Destiny, who founded Girltivities,
Yeah.
she partnered with Quantum Golf Academy. So the coaches and I, there were 7 coaches total, came out and supported these ladies. There were about like 150 ladies at this event, which was awesome to see the game grow. I remember my first time being at Dobson, there wasn't a women's organization or
Mm.
even ladies coming out to Dobson. It was just male dominated, especially older men too. And just to see 150 ladies be out at Dobson and even at other golf courses is awesome because it inspires the next generation. There is a thing where there's a lot of scholarships and for women's golf that get used every year. And even at a community college level, a lot of women's programs are being cut too. So
Mhm.
making golf cool and fun simply is going to help, the next girl have that opportunity to get a full ride and change her life too. So that's how I see it as a big picture. We're just role models for the next generation. Yeah.
Yeah, and for that next generation, people, young ladies or any former athletes getting ready to leave college, what advice would you give for them?
Ooh, I was asked this the other day too. So I would say don't focus too much on the score. Don't focus too much on the scholarship. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Those 2 to 4 years are going to go by so fast. So it's the time to have fun, connect with people outside the golf team too, because you never know, they may help you down the road too, most importantly. Another thing is when you're out there playing, just trust your intuition. Just go out there and play. Those are the two biggest things when it comes down to golfers going into college, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this has been an amazing conversation. Where can people connect with you on social media?
They can connect with me at Cheyanne Stewart on Instagram. Same thing with Facebook. And then I do have a TikTok, but I don't really use it that much. But those are the three social media platforms that you can follow me on and just continue to see my journey, support it, and then even learn about the game too. So yeah. hmm
Awesome. Thanks, Cheyenne. This has been an amazing conversation. Thanks for coming on the Retired Athlete Mentality podcast, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.